April 28th, 3 p.m. Okay, so 5 minutes is up, and you may now begin your group discussions and come up with your team's answers. Once you're done, please inform me, and I'll collect your team's answer sheet.
So,
I definitely know what, okay, you wanna start?
I'll start with Wyatt. Well, obviously we all have different orders,
Yeah.
and we're missing clues. Are we able to read it? But like, we can't show it, right?
Yeah.
You can say what your clues are only.
Okay. You guys want to like go in order?
Yeah.
Remember?
Alright, wait, like in time order?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, sorry, I went backwards, but I definitely know one person is dead. Cause
Yeah.
there was a body found.
Did they
Mr.
say like
Kelly.
what name?
Yeah,
Mr. Kelly.
Okay.
I have the clues that says that he was found.
In the park?
He was dragged.
Oh, okay.
He was dragged from where he was, and that he was seen going to Mr. Jones' place at 11:55, and that at 12 o'clock midnight, Mr. Jones shot an intruder.
Shot an intruder?
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have anything about, did they see who was dragging the body?
No.
No.
Okay.
I have that Mr. Jones, this is only one bullet had been fired from Mr. Jones' gun. There you go.
Mine says the bullet matches, I think.
I have nothing about a shot.
Do you guys have anything about an elevator man?
Yes, I have two things about an elevator man.
I have nothing about elevator man.
I
Oh, yeah.
have, 1 second. I have no, that's not it either. The elevator man saw Mr. Kelly's wife go to Mr. Scott's apartment at 11:30 p.m.
I have something.
Kind
Wait,
of like that.
It's Mr. Kelly's wife and Mr. Scott, right?
I put Mr. Scott, because mine says they don't know where he was at after the police.
Which one? Who's he?
It says police were unable to locate Mr. Scott after the murder. So where did he go?
I think. I have something about. Here we go. Something about Mr. Scott is that he, first of all, keep on flipping the wrong ones. Okay. He left town. Mr. Scott left town. I know that for sure. Cause it's somewhere here. But
And I'm sorry, you said something about the wife, right?
yeah.
Because this says here, the elevator operator said that Mr. Kelly's wife frequently left the building with Mr. Scott. So they did that a lot.
Yeah.
So
At what time did they
And
leave?
11:30, because mine says the elevator man saw. But is it someone else? The elevator man saw Mr. Kelly's wife go to Mr. Scott's apartment at 11:30.
we have obviously so that probably means she's cheating on him or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he probably attempted to do something to Mr. Scott.
Well,
Definitely.
I have a twist right here because it says right here, Mr. Kelly's bloodstains were found in Mrs. Scott's car.
I have something about
Mr. wait,
bloodstains
what?
too.
His blood stains were found in Mrs. Scott's car.
So you think Scott retaliated with defense?
Probably because it said he
Wait,
saw.
what does your bloodstain one say? Read it word for word. What does it say?
Mr. Kelly's bloodstains were found in Mr. Scott's car.
Oh, okay, that's funny because I have something very similar, but not as similar. It was Mr. Kelly's bloodstains were found on the carpet in the hall outside Miss Jones's apartment.
And I also have
Miss Jones?
Miss Jones's apartment. Wait, maybe
I have
something.
Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones. Mr.
Oh.
Jones. That's my
No, no.
bad.
he was. Do you guys know that he's dead for 1 hour when his body was found? His body was found at 1:30 a.m. So he had been dead since.
So we know that.
12:30.
So maybe we might know
12:30.
this. So we might know the time of the murder. If he's been dead for an hour.
Yeah, and then because I know it's in between 12:25 and because it said something. Oh, my order's getting all messed up. Yeah, the elevator man saw Mr. Kelly go to Mr. Scott's room at 12:25 a.m. So
Wait, elevator saw Mr. Scott go to whose room?
I saw Mr. Kelly go to Mr. Scott's room.
Okay.
Okay.
At 12:30?
12:25, and he died at 12:30. So
Miss Smith saw Mr. Kelly go to Mr. Jones' apartment at 11:55. So he went to two places at different times.
Guys, I think I know the weapon of choice.
Well, a gun and knife.
I think no, it's
Which one
definitely
is it,
defense.
Oh, which one killed him?
Yeah, the knife or the gun. Because I have the knife found in Miss Smith's yard had Mr. Scott's fingerprints on it.
Well, mine said right here. It tells me that it was in his. The knife was in the back. Was in his back, and a bullet hole in his thigh.
Say that again?
A bullet hole in his thigh and a knife in his back. Knife wound.
Sorry. I also have that he had stains or something. What is it?
So it's definitely between a gun and a knife.
Well, I'm sorry. What I think it is like
Yeah.
Mr. Kelly like went after Mr. What's his name? Scott. Who's the one
Scott.
who's cheating on his wife or whatever.
Mr. Scott.
So one of them used a knife and the other one used a gun. Or
So two
something.
people were going after Mr. Kelly?
No,
No.
Mr. Kelly versus the other dude.
I think Mr.
Oh.
Jones wait, hold on. Is it Mr. Jones?
Here,
Yeah, I think Mr. Jones shot him because he intruded. Because it says that he shot at 12 o'clock midnight at an intruder. He shot a bullet at an intruder, and that the bullet matches his gun.
Oh, so
So I
that
assume
might be
that
it.
he might have intruded in his house, got shot.
And
but
then
I
the
didn't
guy
kill
with
him.
the knife, and then the guy with the knife was just out of self-defense.
No, murdered him. Maybe.
and I have the elevator man saw Mr. Kelly with he was bleeding slightly, but he didn't seem too badly hurt. So
Why is the elevator man seeing people bleed but not saying anything?
Yeah.
That's what?
well, no.
Wait, so there's a Miss
He's in on
Smith.
He's in on it.
Let's get our characters straight. There's a Miss Smith, a Mr. Jones, a Mr. Scott, and a Mr. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? Does anyone have anyone else?
The
So how
elevator
many-
man.
Elevator
An
man.
elevator man.
And
So
Mr.
how many
Kelly's
people
wife.
is that? So how many? That's. Wait,
Mr. Kelly's wife?
is there a Mrs. Kelly? No, there isn't a Mrs. Kelly.
I don't,
No, there is Mr. Kelly's wife.
you have one? This is Mrs.?
No, it just says Mr. Kelly's wife.
Oh,
Doesn't-
okay.
Oh yeah, you're right. I have Mr. Kelly's wife. This is who disappeared. I have Mr. Kelly's wife disappeared after the murder. She might be guilty. Let's put a red flag on Mrs. Mr.
So did Mr.
Kelly's
Scott. He disappeared after the murder too.
So wait, we have Mr. Kelly, Mrs. Kelly.
Here, wait. This like looks
Should we?
really
Are we allowed
ridiculous.
to write it down?
No.
we can't. Okay, okay.
Can we make like visuals?
Yeah, we can.
No.
What?
You can only speak.
Okay.
Oh.
So okay, so I
Dang.
can't do that. Can am I allowed to number count? Am I allowed to do this? Okay. Mr. Kelly, Mr. Kelly's wife, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because it says we have Mr. Kelly's wife.
Uh,
We have
Mr. Scott.
Mr. Scott. We
Mrs.
have
Smith.
Miss Smith,
Mr. Jones.
and then 6 is the elevator man.
Elevator man, and there's one more, I think.
Wait, did we?
Didn't Mr. Jones' wife come in or something?
No.
Aren't we forgetting
Mrs. Kelly? Mrs.
Mrs. No, we said Mrs. Kelly.
That's
Wait,
it.
let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time. So there's Mr. Jones, Miss Smith, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Kelly's wife,
Mm-hmm.
elevator man, and who else am I forgetting? Mr. Kelly himself.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say Mr. Kelly already?
We already.
So like, basically there's 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, I don't know what Miss Smith does though. Like, do you have anything about her?
Miss Smith.
You-
All I said that
I
she
think
said
sh-
nobody left the apartment from 12:25.
So she's like a witness. She's like a neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought she's the one that like they're all having this affair with.
No, it's Mr. Kelly's wife.
She sees everything.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, she said that.
Yeah, Miss Smith sees a lot.
Miss Smith.
She saw him go in the building at 11:55.
So does the elevator man. He's also. So these are all witnesses to like a testimonial or something.
I
Elevator
don't know
man.
if this is considered cheating, but we all have numbers on the back of our thing.
Yeah.
Could that mean something?
They don't correspond to anything.
They don't. Okay.
Oh,
Are
they
you just
don't?
saying that? Is that reverse psychology?
Oh wait, so they're not in no order.
No, we just,
No, right. Just.
it's for our tracking. It doesn't correspond to anything.
Oh, okay.
Damn, that's why I said like we could just read in order. There is
Yeah.
something we're missing.
The answers are on the.
Okay. Let's say who's. Let's say who.
Alright.
Let's like do like trial and error. Like who can't be the murderer? Obviously, Mr. Kelly can't be the murderer because he's murdered.
Well, that's the thing. We're only allowed one answer on this, correct? I'm sorry.
Yes,
Yeah.
one per.
So we're not allowed to like cross out. Because if we like write on this as like.
Write it when you think you know the answer only.
Okay.
Alright, let's find
So
out
we're not
who's
allowed to.
who's dead. Let's find out who's dead.
Okay. Mr. Kelly's definitely dead. We found a body.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone put like don't like show us, but put down the evidence that says something about Mr. Kelly is dead. So mine here says Mr. Kelly's body was found in the park, so I'm putting that down.
Mine says he was dragged a long distance.
And then what
At
is yours?
12:30 a.m. he died though.
Okay, so we know the time of the murder.
Can we agree on that?
I agree on that because I have the only thing about
Wait, no, it can't
Oh.
because Mrs. Smith said that nobody left the apartment between 12:25 and 12:45. So how was he dragged?
I think that he was murdered at 12:30 a.m. too because here it says the elevator operator reported to the police that he saw Mr. Kelly at 12:15 a.m. So he's definitely still alive from that window, 12:15 to 12.
No, it says Mr. Kelly's body was found at 1:30 a.m. and then it said he had been dead for an hour.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's fact.
So
Okay, so if he died at 12:30, but he was still alive at 12:15, that means the bullet shot that was shot at him didn't kill him, because this says right here that Mr. Jones shot an intruder at 12 o'clock midnight. So that means he was shot. That means the knife murdered him. That's the weapon that killed him.
well, no, because I have something that says he entered into Mr. Jones' office at 12:25. So it had to have been in between that like 5-minute period that he was killed.
Yeah, I
So-
agree.
So it was an assist murder, like he was shot and stabbed.
Okay, I don't know. I definitely think he died from the bullet. I think like died a slow death because like the bullet finally reached his heart or something like that. I don't know where the knife came in. We still have to figure that out. But let's definitely write the time.
12:30.
Yeah, you want to write that down?
Yeah, a.m.
Because the two times that I have here are the elevator operator reported to the police that he saw Mr. Kelly at 12:15. And then the second thing I have about time is the elevator man saw Mr. Kelly's wife go to Mr. Scott's apartment at 11:30. So I think Mr. Kelly and Mr. Scott are definitely guilty of something. So they should be put down for red flag. So I'm gonna put them over here.
Yeah.
And then the place of the murder, I either think it was in a secluded area. I think it was basically in a secluded area because then one of these people, for example, Miss Smith, would have heard a gunshot. Unless it was a knife, which doesn't necessarily make that much noise.
Well,
it said I have something that says that one bullet came out of Mr. Jones' gun.
yeah, and it says
So-
right here that the bullet matched the wound in his leg to Jones' gun.
So, in Mr. Kelly's leg.
Yes.
So Mr. Kelly was shot by Mr. Jones.
His gun, not by Mr. Jones.
Jones's
Gun.
So who?
Okay.
Who is teamed up with Mr.
Good.
Jones? Because it could either be Mr. Jones.
But then again, it could be Jones who shot him, because it says right here, Mr.
Guys,
Jones shot an intruder at 12 o'clock.
And guys, I have something good. When police tried to locate Mr. Jones after the murder, they discovered that he disappeared. You don't disappear unless you're guilty of
So
something.
did Mr. Scott, though.
Wait.
Mr. Scott was not there after the murder.
Mr. Scott disappeared as well.
Yeah, Police were able to find him.
Okay, Mr. Scott definitely did something because no, I'll tell you why. Because the knife found in Mrs. Smith's yard had Mr. Scott's fingerprints on
And it
it.
had Mr. Kelly's blood on it.
Yeah.
So I have this. I was
So-
going to be reading that.
So I guess the murder weapon is the knife, because clearly we know that someone got shot, but he died at 12:30. Yet someone was shot at 12 o'clock, and then he was also stabbed.
Wait, do you mind if we go through each character to just be like, what do we
Yeah,
have on that
breakdown.
person's, like,
Yeah.
alright, Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, okay. I have that he was bleeding slightly. He did not seem too badly hurt when the elevator dude saw him. He had a bullet in his leg from Mr. Jones' gun, right?
Yep.
What else do you guys have?
I have that the gun that was owned by Mr. Jones matched the bullet. He was dragged from where he was. His bloodstains were found in Scott's car.
So guys, maybe he got stabbed after he got shot because
Yeah.
they're just furious with rage.
And I said, yeah, because
Because if your body's getting dragged, they're not like if you're dragging. So I've watched a lot of these criminal shows. They're like when they're dragging your body, like they have more of a motive. They like want to continue like inflicting pain. You know, when they're complete and they're done with the death, I feel like they would have just like thrown him in a body bag or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
He was
'cause-
probably taken to the park.
But the only thing is,
He was stabbed. He was both stabbed and
Yeah.
shot, because I have something that says a knife with his blood on it was found in the Smith's yard. So
Yeah.
he was,
So I think they're pretty two murder weapons.
But then it also says
The final thing was definitely knife, but wait, are we getting off track? I'm sorry. You want to go break down the characters?
well, no, this is still discussing what
Yeah.
So we decided that he has a wound, like a stab wound, and also a leg.
A-
Like,
well, definitely a leg wound. We know that for sure.
Yeah,
But the knife, we don't
yeah.
know where that came from at all.
Yeah.
It says they found it, but we don't know where it came from.
do I have anything on a knife? You guys don't have anything else on the knife besides
I
Mr.
have-
Kelly?
I do have something on a knife. Just give me a sec. The knife found in Miss Smith's yard had Mr. Scott's fingerprints on it.
Okay, so Mr.
So
Scott.
Mr. Scott is definitely guilty.
Mr. Scott stabbed him.
Yes.
Okay.
But did Mr. Scott maybe stab him? Because you definitely think the stabbing happened after the shooting, right?
Yes.
Right? Okay, so Mr. Scott,
It
I
could have
think
happened before.
he's the murderer.
Wait, hold on. It could have happened
No,
before.
yeah, because the elevator man saw him, like, and the
Bleeding a little bit.
Bleeding, right?
So Mr. Scott might have thought that he was just an intruder and he just wanted to stab him.
No, that's Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones shot an intruder.
Oh, okay.
But like, then I messed up the time then.
No, the elevator man saw him with blood, but the elevator man went off duty at 12:25.
Okay.
I'm
So it
telling
was
you, our
before
time
that.
is right because it's factual. Because it said an hour before. I think our time is right.
Yeah, no, that's
So then it can't be that he got shot afterwards. He had to get stabbed afterwards. Because then it's not adding up. Who got shot? Because like it said, Mr. Jones shot an intruder at 12 o'clock. So maybe he was in the elevator wounded by the leg.
only one bullet had been fired from Mr. Jones' gun. You
Yeah.
probably know that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I have the elevator man stuff. What do you guys have on the elevator?
Nothing.
I have the elevator man said that Miss Smith was okay, sorry, let me reread that. The elevator man said that Miss Smith was in the lobby of the apartment building when he went off duty. So thank you. Miss Smith definitely has something to do with something. And Miss Smith often followed Mr. Kelly. So Miss Smith is probably, she's one of the only females in this. Probably has an ulterior motive to get him because she often followed him. Why is someone gonna follow him? She has a plan, That's a red flag for me, definitely.
Anyone explain why they're all there?
Maybe because they all.
No, we'll get to motives in a little, because, like, regarding the elevator man,
Yeah.
he went off duty at 12:30, not 12:25, so that's when he died. And then he saw him bleeding slightly.
So you don't think the elevator man is guilty?
No, he's just he's a witness to speak up when he saw someone bleeding, but that's besides the point.
Are we sure though? It's always the quiet ones that become guilty.
But then Mrs. Smith is also quiet too.
Wait, so can we get to motives though? Can we go to like the very beginning, like
Yeah.
what in general, like?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so I have that. Hold on, that Mr. Kelly stole a lot of Mr. Jones's customers. Where is it?
Really?
Yeah, Mr. Kelly had destroyed Mr. Jones' business by stealing all of his customers.
And Mr. Jones told Mr. Keller that he was going to kill him.
What? Really?
Yeah, that's a clue. Robin.
I feel like that's too obvious. Though.
Exactly.
Okay, so
But then again, that's
but guys,
that's
then again,
reverse psychology.
yeah,
Actually, the answer.
Mr. Jones could have been either the gunman or the stabber.
Or you could have been both.
No, Mr. Jones and Mr. Scott probably teamed up.
Cause
Look, Mr.
Wait,
Scott, like, why is Mr. Scott
wait,
important?
I have something
Like, why
on
would he-
fingerprints.
What's his motive?
Wait, what is this movie?
Because Mr. Jones could have
guys,
easily, like,
the knife found in Mrs. Smith's yard had Mr. Scott's fingerprints. So Jones shot, Scott stabbed.
okay, but what's Scott's motive? Mr. Jones said it was an intruder, although he threatened to kill him.
Mr. Scott cheated. No, Mr. Kelly's wife cheated on Mr. Kelly with Mr. Scott as they frequently left the building together.
Yes.
Oh!
So
So,
maybe
yes.
Kelly's going to kill Scott.
Oh!
Yes. So Scott stabbed Jones. Okay, Scott stabbed Kelly, right? That's his name. But Jones shot Kelly.
Okay, but what did Miss Smith guy do this in the elevator, man? Miss Smith sees everything and saying all the time.
Because isn't she the one that they all had the affair with?
No, that's Mrs. Kelly.
No, Mr.
Oh,
Kelly's
true.
wife.
I'm
So
sorry.
he's the one that's
Sorry,
angry.
that's my bad. So Miss Smith is just another witness.
You sure?
She's a neighbor,
I
I think.
mean,
But she's studying all the
oh
time.
no, I'm sorry. She's definitely not another witness because she often followed Mr. Kelly, so she's probably teamed up with someone.
Wait, you're saying what was it?
Miss Smith often followed Mr. Kelly.
What does
do you
that mean?
think? What do you think? Yeah, I don't.
Like, did someone say that?
No, literally word for word says Miss Smith often followed Mr. Kelly.
I know, and Miss Smith saw Mr. Kelly, go to Mr. Jones' apartment at 11:55.
That makes no
Wait,
sense.
Mr. Kelly voluntarily went to Jones's apartment?
Apparently, but then they said an intruder. He shot an intruder at 12 o'clock. That means he was
Jones shot an intruder?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wait, no, I'm sorry. I have something that says he went into Mr. Jones's room at 12:25. Something like that. Yeah, the elevator man saw Mr. Kelly go into
Goes
Mr.
to-
Scott's room at 12:25 a.m.
And then what time was yours?
11:55. He went into his room.
Wait, can I just interject?
Yeah, yeah.
He's going after Mr. Scott because Mr. Scott
Wait,
is the
what,
one.
don't say he's, don't say
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Kelly's
Kelly?
going after Scott because Scott's the one that's been, taking Kelly's wife home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then he's angry he's angry, so he's going to kill him. And then Jones is there. Like Jones happens to be in that environment, and then he shoots him. He goes after
I see what you're saying.
Well, Kelly doesn't have a weapon though, right?
No.
No.
Wait, hold on. You said
Because-
he went to Scott's building what time?
12:25.
So if he went to Scott's building at 12:25, and then an intruder got shot at 12, and he went to at Jones' place at 11:55, that means Jones already shot him.
Yeah, because Mr. Kelly's bloodstains were found on the carpet on the hall outside of Mr. Jones' apartment.
So that means he walked out of Mr. Jones after getting hurt, and that means he was going after Mr. Kelly. That means he was going after. Mr.
Jones
Scott.
shot him, and then Scott, because he had the fingerprints on the knife, Scott finished the job.
But then again, who saw him going to Mr. Scott's room?
Elevator man. At 12:25. Wait.
Guys, did it say who dragged his body out?
No.
I think it's Miss Smith, because the elevator man said that Miss Smith was in the lobby of the apartment building when he went off duty, and we know he was
When who?
off duty.
I'm sorry.
But the elevator man said that Miss Smith was in the lobby of the apartment when the elevator man went off duty.
So she was in the lobby at 12:30 when he died, because he went off duty at 12:30.
Yeah,
That's
so
what it
she
says.
was the one that's dragging. She dragged his body out. Who else was in the lobby?
True. And then Miss Smith says that no one left from 12:25 to 12:45. Well, it's not true.
Wait,
The elevator man left at 12:30.
is this someone's house?
No,
like, or
it's
This
not-
is
an
like one
apartment
big
complex?
building.
This is an
I'm
apartment
thinking of like a
complex.
I'm thinking of
What
like an
about
apartment.
like some on Miss Smith's yard? That doesn't make any sense.
It's like
Oh my God, that makes no sense.
no, you can. It's a tenant. It's like one of those tenant houses with like
Yeah,
multiple rooms.
A knife with Mr. Kelly's blood
Are
on
we
it was
allowed to
found in
ask
Miss
how much
Smith's.
more time do we have?
You're good. You keep going.
Okay.
But then it says that Mrs. Smith said that nobody left the apartment building. There we go. It's
But
apartment
this is a
building.
yard. You can
Guys, I'm telling you,
maybe
there's
it's like
more
an
than
apartment
one
complex
murderer.
on.
They're just trying to mess with us here. There's definitely more. There's definitely a team. It's never one person. It's never one person.
No, yeah, no.
But it says the murderer. It didn't say murderers. It said the murderer.
but-
You have to pick one.
You have to pick one person. Yeah. That means Mr. Jones is out, obviously.
Wait, maybe Mr. Jones was shot. What it took? Like, give me all the times. Like he was shot at 11:55.
Mr. Jones shot an intruder at 12.
And that was the bullet, right?
Yes, and he was Mr. Kelly was going to his building at 11:55. So that means that it adds it all up. He was going there at 11:55. He probably got in the building at 12. And
I have something
he
about
shot him.
time also.
So what if he thought that the bullet was Mr.
Jones.
What's his name? Smith.
Smith.
Scott. Yeah. What if he
Scott.
thought that the bullet was Mr. Scott and he went to kill him
No,
instead?
Mr. Smith said he went to Mr. Jones' building. That means he went there willingly. He knows where he was going.
Can I
I
read
think
you what
Mr.
I
Jones
have
just-
about?
He just happened to be an innocent bystander. Like he shot him because he thought someone was in his house, and then Mr. Jones is left because he was scared probably. But the thing is, Mr. Smith is following him. That means she sees him get shot.
No, I'm just trying to process what you said. Is it for this one?
Wait, okay.
And then he goes to Mr. Scott's room at 12:25.
So you think that's Mr.
So
Smith?
since we're, I'm
I
sorry.
think it's Mrs. Smith. She just happened. Because she controls all the times. If you're not noticing everything.
Yeah,
She says 12:25.
and-
No one left the building between 12:25 and 12:45.
and we know that because I'll be the one to say it. She's like kind of the only figurehead here, the only female, and we know like if someone's gonna drag someone's body out, it should be the man because he's like a little more muscular. But she's probably like the head of the head, so she wants to drag his body out. So I think she's the murderer too.
But why is she? What's her motive though? Because I have all this stuff about like.
She's just the shady neighbor that sees it all go down. She's
These
she's
people all out to
mentally
kill each
unstable.
other? I thought it was just like one dude versus these two dudes, or.
All right, we gotta find a connection.
Okay,
soon.
let me
I'm sorry,
tell you
no, I'm not
what-
trying to like argue. I'm
yeah.
trying
No, you're right, and it's good. Definitely speak your mind. But I have let me read you my two things about time and tell me what you guys think about it. So the elevator man saw Mr. Kelly's wife go to Mr. Scott's apartment at 11:30 p.m.
11:30.
Yes,
Mr. Whose apartment?
Mr. Scott's apartment.
So, they would often go back. So she's in we have that Mr. Kelly's wife is in an affair with this dude,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mr. Scott.
And so I'm guessing Mr. Kelly is looking for his wife, and that's why he went to Jones'
Yeah.
apartment.
No,
And then-
why would he go to Jones?
No.
He should have gone to Scott's.
Yeah, but he was at Jones' apartment at 11:55. So it's Mr. Smith.
Wait, do we have can we just do an ascending chronological time sequence
Yeah.
just to get all our
Okay.
stuff?
Yeah.
So who's first?
11:30, Mrs. Kelly, Mr. Scott's apartment, right?
The elevator man saw Mr. Kelly's wife go to Mr. Scott's apartment at 11:30. Correct.
Okay. What's the next time?
So I'm gonna put all the things I've already said up
Yeah.
here.
Put all the times together.
Yeah.
Mine's 11:55. Anyone has before that?
No.
No, I have a 12:15.
So 11:55, it says that Mrs. Smith saw Mr. Kelly go to Mr. Jones' apartment.
Mrs. Smith.
Saw Mr. Kelly go to Mr. Jones' apartment.
So wife with Mr. Scott, Kelly with Mr. Jones. Okay, so
2 rooms.
Okay.
yeah,
Scott and Miss Kelly,
yeah.
and then
Affair,
Scott.
and Jones.
Okay, got
No.
it.
And then
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
affair.
Kelly and Jones.
Kelly and
Kelly
Jones.
and Jones. Yeah.
So Miss Kelly, Mr. Kelly.
And then I have
Got
at
it.
12 o'clock, Mr. Jones shot an intruder.
What time was he
Wait,
going to his house?
11:55.
Mr. Jones.
So
That's the bullet wound. He got shot by he was the intruder, Mr. Kelly.
Kelly.
So that's why I said Mr. Jones is innocent. He just he thought somebody entered his house without asking, so he shot him.
Okay, I agree. Jones is innocent.
So what's after 12 o'clock?
But no, he's not. He's not. I hate to skip this, but when police tried to locate Mr. Oh, you know what? Honestly, hear me out. When police tried to locate Mr. Jones after the murder, they discovered he disappeared. Maybe he disappeared because he was scared, because he did kill someone. Because not a good murderer would not disappear. They'd have their plan planned out.
But then again, everyone disappeared. Only people that are there is Mrs. Smith and the elevator guy came saying what's happening. You don't realize, is everyone who says what happened is by Mr.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Mr. Kelly's wife also disappeared after the murder.
Mr. Scott disappeared after the murder.
Can we go back to the
Everybody-
time thing?
Okay.
Just
So it's
I'm-
whoever didn't disappear. Guys, it's whoever didn't disappear.
Wait, hold on. Let's do the time still. So 12 o'clock.
But don't you guys agree?
I think so. That
Yeah,
means-
let's just get everything chronological. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Um,
Anyone for 12:15? I have something about 12:15.
No.
Nothing before then. So we
Okay.
have. Let's just still keep the 2 visuals to get this as accurate.
Yes.
So what do you have?
Well, mine is the elevator operator reported to the police that he saw Mr. Kelly at 12:15 a.m. That's not even relevant because that just has something to do with the time, and I think we know the time he died.
So Mr. Kelly was gone. She left already at 12:15. So we don't know what she
Mr. This is Mr. Kelly.
Wait, this
Oh.
is one occasion where the elevator man saw Mr. Kelly, right?
Yeah.
So I have when the elevator man saw Mr. Kelly was bleeding slightly, but he did not seem too badly hurt.
Okay, so
Okay,
guys,
so he got shot, obviously. That's not
no,
killing.
I think he probably got stabbed.
No,
No,
that
Because
was
you don't think he would have? Oh yeah, he got shot.
He got
He's
shot.
in
He got
Mr.
shot in
Jones'
the
house.
leg.
That's why we
Okay.
gotta do the thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he didn't die from the shot. He died
No.
from the knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's
So the
say
murder
the
weapon is
weapon.
the knife.
Yeah, the knife.
Are we sure?
Definitely the knife.
Yes. Now who's the murderer? That's the question.
All right. So what do we have? 12:15.
So I said the elevator operator reported to police that Mr. Kelly. The elevator operator reported to police that he saw Mr. Kelly at 12:15 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now,
So
do you guys have anything? I have 12:25. Anybody else have anything before?
12:25 also.
All right. So I have
Before
the
that.
elevator man saw Mr. Kelly go to Mr. Scott's room at 12:25. So he went to the other house. What do you say?
Mine
Wait.
says
no, go on.
Mrs. Smith said that nobody left the apartment building between 12:25 and 12:45.
That's when the death was taking place.
So
So
30 definitely the death.
12:25 is the last time Mr. Kelly's
Kelly was-
moving.
Yeah.
So now Mr. Kelly's in Mr. Scott's house after being shot.
But then
Yes.
again, it says they saw Mr. Kelly go into Mr. Scott's room at 12:15.
Yes. No. Say your question again.
At 12:15, what happened?
That the elevator operator said to the police that he saw Mr. Kelly at 12:15.
Doing what?
Just probably coming through the lobby.
So he saw him at 12:15. Okay.
And he definitely saw him bleeding, because that was stated there.
That's probably that's probably on his way to.
Okay, Mr. Scott's room.
Yeah.
I mean, is the lobby like? Are they on another floor? I mean,
Probably. Because the elevator man keeps seeing these people.
'Cause
so
why is
it's
it
an
called-
elevator?
Because why is it the elevator
makes
man?
sense.
Can
I'm
I ask a question? Are the elevator man and the elevator operator the same people?
You guys have to figure it out.
Oh my
So
god.
now there's two elevator people. Because they would have said the same thing.
the elevator man is actually Miss Smith. The elevator
Yeah.
operator.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's probably they're probably the same person.
I don't think that. Do you think so?
I haven't seen about no
An
elevator anybody.
man. An elevator man could be like someone that just stands by the elevator, and then an elevator operator is the guy that's actually in the elevator pressing a number.
I'm killing the person. Like, I have nothing about elevator.
Wait, you have elevator operator. What do you have on elevator operator?
Nothing.
An elevator operator I have here reported to the police that he saw Mr. Kelly at 12:15 a.m. That's
This
the
is
one. And then about elevator man said that Miss Smith was in the lobby of the apartment building when he was off duty. Guys, I'm telling you, the murderer is Miss Smith. I feel it. Because Miss Smith often followed Mr. Kelly, and she's the only one that didn't disappear.
Wait, before we get into this stuff though, do you mind if we just go back to the chronology?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just like this would help me out.
But why did all of them leave and not found?
Because they were scared, because they know they're innocent, and they don't want sorry, he wants to go
No, I don't.
No, we can go chronological order, but I'm saying like, if you go chronological order, you say, wait, who was first? Yours was first, right? No, mine was first.
11:30. She was.
11:30.
Yeah, I was.
That was when Miss Kelly went into his house,
Okay.
and then Mr. Jones. I
Yeah.
mean Mr.
Mr. Kelly's wife, which is Miss Kelly, went into Mr. Scott's apartment at 11:30 p.m.
So she was going to.
And that's it. And nothing happened to Mrs. Kelly. No one knows what happened to her ever again.
Yeah. I don't
Wait,
think
do I have?
I don't think Miss Kelly killed her husband.
Okay, maybe she did.
Why though? What's her motive?
She wants to be with Mr. Scott.
Well,
Did she run away?
She probably did. Well, everyone missing, but
wait. The elevator operator,
Mhm.
which is basically the elevator man, was just,
Yeah.
The elevator operator said that Mr. Kelly's wife frequently left the building with Mr. Scott.
How can
Okay,
they
we all know that Mr. Kelly and Miss Scott are. Sorry, my thing's going We
Wait,
all know that they're cheating on each other with each other.
they freaking left the
Wait,
building. That means
They're cheating together. They're like with each other. They're having an affair.
so basically, I think.
Scott and Miss Kelly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they left before everything happened. Before he died. Because they said they frequently left. That means they might have left already and never came back in.
No,
I know
but
the
he was
place of the
stabbed,
murder.
though.
I know the place of the murder.
Where?
It was in the park. Because if
He was dragged.
he was dragged to the park.
Yeah.
He could have gotten stabbed, but that's a public park probably. Who would want to stab someone in a park? So he was
A lot of
probably murdered in the actual place, in the actual apartment, whatever complex we want to call it, in the actual home.
This
Do
is
we have to be specific?
What do you mean?
Like, do we have to be specific about where exactly he was murdered? Like, could we just say the apartment complex?
It's whatever you guys come up with. I can't help you solve it, so you guys have to decide.
I really just want to know who did what right now. Like, oh man.
Can I tell you what I think?
What happened?
Miss Smith or Mrs. Kelly, apartment complex, like in the yard, and the motive, still don't know that one yet.
But like the thing is, you're like speculating this based off stuff that's not really like. I think we should just like stick to
You're
exactly because like you're saying like Miss Smith was like
You're right.
wanted to assert the
But has
feminine.
anyone else realized that everyone has an idea of where they came from? But Mr. Smith, elevator operator, working. That's why he's in the elevator. Mrs. Kelly or Mrs. Scott because she's having an affair. Mr. Scott's in his own place. Mr. Jones in his own place. Mr. Kelly's going everywhere. Mrs. Smith just following Mr. Kelly. Where's she coming from?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
where is she coming from?
Agreed.
Well, she. I have something that says she always. The elevator man said that Mr. Kelly's wife frequently left the building with Mr. Scott.
Yeah, but I'm saying like Mrs. Smith. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
oh,
talking
I'm
about
sorry,
Smith.
I'm sorry.
who does she like?
And,
why is she
and,
there?
and she probably dragged him out because the elevator man said that Miss Smith was in the lobby of the apartment building when he went off duty, and you said he went off duty at that time.
At 12:30.
Yeah.
Are we
Oh.
missing any clues? Just
Oh
wanna
wait,
double
so
check.
he didn't. So she didn't. So she did not.
But she found her knife in her yard, right?
Wait. If
With
the-
whose fingerprints on it?
What
Mrs.
time did the
Scott's.
elevator man go off duty?
12:30.
So if Kelly, Mr. Kelly was murdered at 12:30, then how was she able to drag his body out? If
And yet
he
she
saw
says-
her in the lobby.
And she also says nobody left after 12:25 to 12:45.
Well, at that time, he was definitely in Mr. Scott's house because he went into his
Okay.
house at 12:15.
So he could have been
You said-
dragged and then killed. Do you guys agree?
Something's missing so much.
Let's go back to the thing, I guess.
But like Mrs. Smith saw him go in Mrs. Scott's room, right?
Yeah.
Because she's always following him.
Wait, that makes no sense. She's always following him like a Pokemon. Like,
She is. She is. Look, I'll tell you. It says it literally word for word. Miss Smith often followed Mr. Kelly.
So that means she knows he went to Mr. Scott's room. That means if he got stabbed by Mr. Scott, then she saw Mr. Scott drag his body.
Yeah.
But yet, Mrs. Scott is nowhere to be found afterwards. I think Mr. Scott and Mrs. Kelly already left.
I feel like all the people that disappeared, they are disappearing because they know they're innocent. Because it was like an accidental shooting because they thought there was an intruder, and the guy I'm literally imagining they're on one floor and they're all like gathered around because Mr. Kelly probably when he got stabbed ran away. Okay, and then like visualize this with me. So they're all there and they're like, shoot, we just killed this innocent man because we thought he was an intruder. We gotta leave because the police are gonna come start questioning us.
Wait, no one heard a gunshot?
I think Miss Smith did.
um,
Oh my gosh,
no.
Miss Smith could be, okay,
She
this
killed
is
everybody.
so, you guys are gonna be like, where's this girl getting this from? But Miss Smith could be the nice one here and stab, okay, I know that Mr.
put him out of
Jones,
his misery.
yeah, put him out of his misery, yeah. She could have been the one that stabbed him.
911!
Because she was always following him. Maybe she had like a deeper obsession with him.
Maybe she stabbed him thinking it was Mrs. Scott, but it was actually...
No.
Well, why? She has nothing against any of them. She doesn't. She's like a
Just
random.
Miss Smith, man.
Yeah.
Maybe she just killed everybody off, because like there are too many witnesses. Like Mr. Jones shot Mr. Kelly, so she killed Mr. Jones. But, you know, she's deep in love
Oh,
with him.
you're saying because they disappeared?
Yeah. But then Mr. Kelly and Mrs. Kelly and Mr. Scott will be found, but his fingerprints found on a knife.
Wait,
yeah,
wait, I
yeah.
think-
I'll tell you what. The something about the knife. Let me get that.
And then the knife was on Miss Smith's yard.
The knife found
Miss
in
Smith,
Miss
what?
Smith's yard had Mr. Scott's fingerprints on it. I know the place, Miss Smith's yard. Bang, definitely is. I'm telling you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you.
I think.
Cause he was definitely murdered there. He could have been dragged to the park, which we know is true because his body was found in the park. Cause she didn't want to make it look like she murdered
If
him.
anything, Miss Smith's the murderer. You know why?
Why?
Because it says
'Cause
her
she-
yard. This is all apartment buildings. That means she had to kill him.
Yeah.
She had to kill him. To
I-
get the knife to her yard.
Can you write down Miss Smith's yard? I'm telling. Why? Wait. Why? Do you disagree?
She always follows him. She never said she lived there. I mean,
She has an obsession.
Yeah, but what?
She has an obsession.
No, but like,
We don't know if it's a positive or negative obsession.
Are we talking about like intent though? Like, remember, there's like a whole reason he's going to these people's houses, and like,
Well,
why did he go to Mr. Scott's house to begin with?
they always were. They're still buddies, right? They're
Listen,
fighting against
listen,
rivals,
if
right?
it's wrong, we'll change it. But I'm so convinced it's the murder happened in her yard.
We're not really allowed to like, rewrite though, apparently.
So okay, we'll keep it
We
yard.
think
But
it's-
like this will mean Miss Smith.
Just okay. Why don't you say
So like, Mr. Jones and Mr. Kelly, they're rivals, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he probably went to Mr. Jones,
To talk things out.
talk things out. Or Mr. Jones, because Mr. Jones said he
Not
was gonna
Mr.
kill him.
Jones. No, yes, Mr. Jones.
Yeah,
But
Mr.
he
Jones.
thought he was an intruder.
Yeah, Mr. Jones said he's gonna kill him, but that's probably just something he just said, not really intentional. And
Because he took away his business.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why they have connections. So Mr. Kelly probably went to Mr. Jones for some reason. Intruder shot him. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's this house.
Yeah. So
Right.
Mr. Jones is probably still in his apartment.
Yeah.
Because they said he shot him. That means he was
Yeah.
there the whole time.
And guys, it's definitely an apartment. Something that it like. Where else are you gonna have an elevator?
Well, it's his apartment building right here.
Yeah.
This
No,
is-
I'm saying it definitely is an apartment. And then what? Like, I mean, there could be one general yard, but there could be like
Well, no, it
apartments.
says Miss Smith's yard. So
Yeah, so I'm
Well-
saying it's definitely Miss Smith is definitely like with Kelly when he's dead, like no matter what, because a lot of things were found in her yard, and that's like a really random place.
I think Miss Kelly did it. What she did, she tried to frame Mrs. Scott because she knows she probably
You think Miss Smith did it or Miss Kelly?
Miss Smith.
Okay, you got
You said Miss
confused.
Kelly.
You said Miss Kelly.
I
right?
did? Oh,
yeah,
right.
it's okay. It's okay.
I think Miss Smith did it because like she follows him everywhere. He was found killed with a knife, boom, right? And the knife was found in her yard.
Okay. Okay, I agree
With
with
Mr.
you.
Scott's
fingerprints. But his body was also dragged
To the park.
to the park.
So do you think Miss Smith helped Mr. Scott? But it had to be one murder.
Or Mr. Scott did it, saw Mr. Smith see him, but instead of trying to kill her, he framed her instead.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
he framed Miss Smith.
He could have framed Mr. Smith.
What do you mean?
But
Like,
why
we
would
can't
he
write who
fra-
framed who, though. You know what I mean?
True, but like we could say like
But wait,
the
why
murderer
would...
is him, but like when we say like his like
Wait, I have something about... Where's my thing about fingerprints?
I have a thing about fingerprints.
What? Read yours about fingerprints.
Mr. Scott's fingerprints on the knife in her yard.
Same, I have the knife found in Miss Scott's yard had Mr. Scott's fingerprints.
And it also had Mr. Kelly's blood on it, obviously.
So Miss Smith is framing Mr. Scott.
Well, where do we get... We don't have, like, any...
She's definitely framing. I know it's not there, but if you feel it in your head, it's definitely Miss Smith. This is definitely in her yard, and the motive of the murder
but like
is obsessive compulsive. No, sorry, not obsessive compulsive disorder. The motive of the murder is
wait, hold on. But no one how was he
jealousy. That's the motive of the
But like
murder.
how was he murdered in her yard? Like why was he there?
Miss Smith took him, or maybe he could have fallen off a balcony onto her yard.
They said park, he's found in a park?
Yeah, look, Mr. Kelly's body was found in the park.
And she has a yard, right?
Yeah. It's yard to park, it's probably right down across the street.
Wait, and who was doing the dragging?
Miss Smith.
We don't know who did the dragging. No one said it said he was dragged.
Yeah,
from
it would
the
never
body.
Yeah,
said-
no, only,
it never-
only, like...
Yeah, factually, it never said who dragged.
But
we never
his
got it.
body was dragged.
Yeah, it says literally Mr. Kelly's body was found in the park.
And you had something about it being dragged, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be dragging in a live body unless that person is really badly bruised.
Obviously from his condition.
So he
unless-
didn't.
but his
He
body.
did not die in the park. The
He was
place
dragged
of
a
the
long
murder.
distance.
Yeah.
Distance.
Yeah. Oh, it says that.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
He was dragged a long distance.
So it happened in her yard because they're not gonna take the body, go into the elevator because there's witnesses in the elevator.
yeah, it was in the park, and it was in her yard,
Yard.
and she was dragged a long distance to the park.
Yes.
Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Place of the murder. Her yard. Miss Smith.
Oh man.
If I was a righty, I would write this down. Are we gonna find out the? No, you can write it. Yeah.
This one's
At the end of the study, we're gonna send the answers to everybody who participated.
Oh, send
Oh,
it.
you're not gonna tell us?
Not today.
Like, so when are we gonna get the sending?
Once we're done collecting data at the end of the semester.
We're not gonna find out to the end of the semester. Wait,
no.
Wait, we're not gonna find out to the end of the semester.
I'll answer more questions at the end. I just want to make sure.
Oh, okay.
That's
I'm sorry,
That's
I get
torture
really
right-
anxious.
That's torture right there.
Yeah.
Who's Mr. Kelly? Mr. Kelly couldn't himself. That's it. He ended
The
it.
murderer. Now this is the fun part. The motive
Guys,
for the murder.
I'm telling you, the murderer is Miss Smith, and she framed Jones. And then the motive of the murder is obsession. You can be obsessed with someone. Who follows people? Unless you're on Instagram. That's the only following I do.
Did he have an Instagram? Like, was she following?
Why?
Is
Should've
that what
been
the
like the
I follow?
1700s, yo. She was
Yeah.
following him on Twitter.
Nah, had an elevator. Remember that? And there's guns, so like,
Guys.
pretty high technology right there.
Or maybe it was Mr. Jones and Miss